Well, I'm excited because I'm going to Real World Studios because SSL is presenting a new something. We don't know exactly what it is, but it's supposed to be a studio revolution. And so we are going to Real World Studios to check it out, see what's what. And you're gonna come with us. Well, we is James and Cameron, my good friends, and Cameron is driving us there. What's going on then? Okay, so that's James, but I can't reach him because traffic, people, cars, buses, lots of buses. James, did you get it in or what?
What?
Nice. That was very quick.
James said what?
Is that him? Look at that. Cameron.
Nice. Hello.
Yes. Hello.
What is that? You're on camera.
Here's the plan. I will try and get your reactions.
You gotta be like.
And other people's reactions as well. And then this is the question that I want to ask people: is it actually revolutionary? I am an SSL person for sure, which I won't tell Neve.
Like a
but
keychain on your bag.
I know, but
See, I've got an Let's look at the keychain on your keychain. Let's see if you have an SSL thing on your
oh, actually, you're right. I've got.
You're 0 for 2, like.
You're right. I've got a Neve keychain on my bag.
Which proves SSL's now getting swag, free swag at this thing. I have an API one that you gave me.
Yeah, me too. I've got an API keychain on my keys, but I've got no SSL. But look, SSL did not give me one. If they did, I would be sporting that one.
Hopefully we'll get one today.
Yeah, hopefully. They say you said you wouldn't be surprised if I showed up in that.
That is true.
That's right. That's correct.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised.
You wouldn't be surprised.
My facial expression would be this. One of those things that they used on ships where they like look through the, what are they called? Like a sextant. No?
What?
They're called a sextant.
A sex what?
Yeah. It's a club in Germany.
Okay, so but for a second, speculation on what it is.
I'm sticking with the door. I think it might be something to do with the door.
A door.
Something like 360. What do you mean by 360? Well, they have that. Have you seen the 360 software that they have? Isn't it sort of like an SSL mixer that's got the plugins and stuff?
Yeah.
But it's like not really a door. It's kind of. Is it like a summing thing or something? Or not really.
It's like a virtual mixer that is made of all of the instances of the plugins you have. Those are not really talking to Pro Tools, for example. Like channel strips are not really talking to Pro Tools, they're talking to the SSL 360, and that's what you're controlling technically with your controller. And so you can get this 360 view where you can, on the screen, have all the channel strips as if you were looking at a desk. And so you're thinking, so basically that's similar to like what Universal Audio has with Luna.
I
with
guess,
console.
yeah,
So you're thinking
like
it could
that.
be like the SSL version of that.
But maybe a little bit more. I don't want to like slate.
Raven.
I don't want to slate Universal Audio on your camera, but
Oh no. Okay.
I'm not sure whether it really took off because I don't think it's super user friendly or.
You don't think what took off?
Luna.
Oh.
Okay, I'm gonna turn this off now. Sorry.
The SSL event?
Yes.
Okay, if you just go down here, turn right, and go to the bottom, and there's car parking spaces, and then you can walk back over this little field and into the studio.
Sounds great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Do you guys ever do that thing where someoe's giving you directions and you're going, yeah, but you're not actually listening to it? I don't know what that's about. It's here, is it? She said.
No, I 100% just did that.
There we go.
Here it is.
Alessandro, that's the control room right there.
Yeah.
One revolution.
Yes. You're still trying to think what it is?
It's a circular mixing
Ball.
console that goes all the way around.
Yes.
Dearly beloved, another monthly meeting of Nerds Anonymous.
Thank you, Peter.
How much does it cost?
How much? The console as it is, so 24 faders controlling 24 inline processing, with of course the center rack, so 2 racks on the console, is in pounds 86,999, ex VAT of course. Everybody will have the chance to play with it. Thank you so much.
And that shows you how loud the console is. Easily movable by 2 people, 3 people. Look at the size of these speakers. Jesus! Like, huge. Okay, so it's got 24 XLR inputs and the rest is on D-subs. And there's quite a bit more. These are all outputs. How silly
How feely do I seal?
How silly do you feel now for thinking it was a door?
Very.
So all of the juice is in here. So all of the hardware that you'd expect in the console that makes it bulky and all of the components, right? The resistors, the capacitors, all of those things, they're in here, not in the actual desk. They're here, you can put them wherever you want. And then the desk is just basically just a control surface for those. It's a bit like Mac DSP stuff.
Would you like to be featured in a little vox pop for us about the console?
Sure.
And then I'll answer any question you want.
Yes. Okay. Cool. It's amazing that we're sort of doing it from two sides, isn't it?
Maybe we take it in turns. Yes, what did you think of the console?
Well, it's interesting because I wanted to ask you, because I'm a big fan of SSL.
Okay.
I've got a UC1, I've got 32 faders of Avid controllers,
Boom.
where I would like to move, I'd like to move to SSL, because I'm thinking analog sounds a bit better than digital. I think it does.
Yep.
Debatable, but I think it does. But it feels way better than digital every time. It just feels better. And I feel like this, I just went up and the controls, they don't feel like the UC1, they're a bit more stiff in a good way. But the fact that it has like infinity encoders, ultra encoders, it makes it feel a bit less analog. And to me, the fact that when I'm there, it's amazing that everything's there. I love it. But, and I feel like I can play it, but not quite as connected as an analog console. And to me, I gotta be completely honest, the price was a bit, I wasn't expecting as much, but then I have no idea how to make a console, so I don't know what I should expect from a console. That said, I do feel like it's literally like the only way that nowadays I would think of having a console in a studio. I mean, for mixing.
Yeah.
For recording, I'd love maybe to have like a sidecar, something like just, or an Origin actually. They use the Origin a lot, love it. But for mixing, Origin is quite unrealistic. So this, if I was to open a studio, I would think about getting one of these in.
I would say actually, I mean, I mix on an Origin all the time.
Yeah.
And I do think it's fantastic. But I do get, not an ended pot is more connected. But I think when you start using it, you'll find the sweet spot, you'll move to it. But it's like I said, the analog feeling, it's not about the sound, it's about how you approach the sound will change. And you can now mix 3 or 4 records a day and not have to worry about recalling between the two.
100%.
And jump into a tracking session, back in.
And another thing was that I need to try, but I haven't tried yet. Because with digital controllers, you still have the latency of the plugin, plus the buffer size that you're using, of course. So when you turn a knob, it's still not instant, and I have a feeling that this is still keeping us, drawing us back. But with this, how is it controlled actually? Because it's going to be digitally recalled, but the knob is analog.
The control, don't quote me on this, or record it, but essentially the control protocol is instantaneous, it's latency free.
Yeah.
So you are controlling analog in real time, it's constant two-way messaging.
Yeah, people don't necessarily think about, but if you have no latency, even if it's digital or digitally controlled, because it's not digital, but then you get that connection with the console, which is ultimately what feels analog to me. Because to be completely honest, yes, it sounds analog, but honestly, I am not fully convinced that you cannot fool me. In fact, I am convinced that you can fool me if you give me enough of the experience of the analog, but the sound is digital. I don't know.
I think you need to come down to a demo at SSL HQ and mix in anger, and then you'll be a believer after that.
I would love to do that. Yeah. Can we do that?
Absolutely.
Yeah, let's do that. Amazing. All right. Well, actually, can I?
Yeah.
Thank you. What do you think of it? I know you're
difficult
partial.
to say. I am.
Sorry, this is yours.
Cool. Hi. So, I am an analog diehard. When I'm mixing, I mix on an analog console. I record in analog, and it's not the sound that's but like I say, it's the feel. I'll work against an analog signal in a different way than I would if I'm working in the DAW. But there's also the negativity of when I'm working in analog, I've got the recall, I've got to, every time I want to change sessions, go and change all of my hardware outboard or re-patch my patch bay. With having the console literally at touch of a button, reroute all my I/O connections, reroute all my auxes, and then still have the power of being able to physically work with all my outboard gear in real time, no latency, and feel the movement. It's a no-brainer to me.
To be fair, that is insane. Like, that felt insane, and like he said, you probably don't realise, but when you switch a session and it goes whoop, whoop, you think it's digital. It's not.
No, I love this thing. I think it's wonderful. It sounds amazing. It's got very similar mic pre's to the Duality and the Origin. It's like a hybrid of both. So you've got super analog in clean mode, and then you've got second order and third order harmonic variable drive. So it's a really powerful sound. Like, you can be as clean as you like, what goes in goes out, or you can really drive the console and it give you that mojo. The EQ architecture's basically made with more headroom than the original E and G curves. So we allow you to change the curves. So the flexibility of the EQ is really powerful.
So you can change the curves between E and G? Or?
Yes.
Okay.
On individual channels between the shelving and the mid bands.
Yeah.
And because of that, the fidelity of the EQ is sort of like an E series plus. It's like it's got the same tonality, but you've got even more fidelity.
Right.
It's wicked. Right.
Thank you so much.
No, my pleasure. I'm going to go do a few more vox pops, but
do your stuff in a bit. Thank you. Can I talk to you?
Yeah, sure.
Love to know what you think about it.
What, of the console?
Yeah.
I think it's good. See, I already have a 180 channel fully digitally recallable console.
What is it?
Well, I've got the S4 with 88 channels of DSP, 64 channels of West Audio. So when it comes to this console, it's kind of like, it's difficult for me to look at it and kind of go, because it's not, if I had an AWS, I'd swap it tomorrow for that, all day
Because
long.
it's the same thing but better.
I mean, the console in itself is amazing.
So you said you have an S4 and Mac DSP.
Yeah.
So you control the Mac DSP with the plugins. So in a way, it feels like SSL is what they are trying to do, is just like integrate the systems.
See, the main difference between that console and what I currently have is mine's modular. One key benefit that I've got over this sort of console is I've got very mute compressors, VCA compressors, I've got multi-band compressors. You know, I've got loads of options, whereas this is kind of like one sort of sound.
Yeah. And then there's no channel compressor either, right?
No. What I will probably end up doing is I'll probably end up sticking one in and then utilising all my compression that I've currently got, hooking that in on the inserts. Then I'll create channel strips, so it'll basically be SSL EQs, SSL summing, SSL breeze with West Audio compressors. It is an incredible console. I just think it's very expensive.
I was about to ask about the price. Were you expecting less?
Yeah, I was thinking about 60.
Can I ask you why? Because I had the same exact impression. Like I thought during the keynote, I was thinking amazing, and I was forming a price in my head. And when he said the price, I was like, it was nothing. Like it was
Did you
way
think it
less.
was lower?
Yeah, way less.
Yeah.
But I can't quite tell you why.
I think the reason it's so pricey is it's a little bit like why is the black box HGQ £6,000 and another EQ, like if West Audio brought out an EQ or a compressor, it would be a little bit less because the R&D has to go into that first product.
I mean, we don't know, of course, but we're just speculating for fun.
There's no doubt about it that it's an incredible console, and that's what I've been asking for years, and it's pretty much 90%, 95% of what I would want in a console. One thing I hope is that a smaller version maybe that's a little bit less, but what they've done, which is really good, is the console's the console, and then you buy the expansion boxes. So say for instance you wanted 24 channel, you buy it with 24 channels, and then you go, oh well, next year I'm doing well, let's stick another 24 in, and you can just keep adding and adding. This is the future of what consoles should look like.
So my question, my sort of closing question would be, did they deliver when they promised the Studio Revolution?
Yeah, 100%. Definitely. I knew it was going to be this. Like without anyone even telling me, I knew it was. I knew, like, as soon as you say Studio Revolution, people were speculating that it was going to be a DAW or something.
Yeah.
I'm embarrassed.
But then what's exciting is what else is going to follow. Because it's all possible now. They've proved that they can do it. So a Fusion will come, a Bus Plus will come. Wouldn't surprise me if there was some channel strips that will come. There'll be all sorts that will come. And it's a good time to be alive.
Amazing. Well, thank you very much. I cannot shake your hand because I don't know how to. Wait, let's do it properly. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Mr. Alessandro, Peter Gabriel song from the Wildly soundtrack. You said it changed your life from a production standpoint. What's up? What happened?
Yes. Down to Earth. Ending credits of Wally. It's got electric elements, it's got acoustic elements, it's got pauses and breaks and weird scales, It all sounds so three-dimensional and bananas, and it sounds like it was made in an expensive studio. There's a chance that it was this. And you should listen to that song. You should listen to that song. It's an amazing song, Down to Earth by Peter Gabriel. Peter Gabriel was here before. I should probably ask him whether he recorded it here, but I don't know, probably not. Bags.
Swag bag.
Swag bags. Yeah, so event is finished. We have our bags. Bye bye. So it's 9:30 p.m. But I guess in London in the summer that doesn't mean that the sun goes down. Clearly, there's no night here. So back from Real World Studios. It was amazing. Peter Gabriel was actually there. I had not necessarily realized how Peter Gabriel meant to me. But I did not feel like a fun boy. He was there just like a person, and it was cool to see him there. He looked like a cool dude. I would genuinely love to have dinner with him and a few chats. The product was a console, not just any console, but one that is supposed to redefine, reshape the future. Now the thing is, I've got many questions. I've got questions about the product, but also questions about the products in general that SSL makes. I like SSL. We could say I'm an SSL guy, but then again, I feel like saying I'm an SSL guy, or I'm a Neve guy, or I'm an API guy, that tends to all boil down to rooting for like a football team. It's basically the same thing. And so I will be back, well, not to Real World Studios, but I will go to SSL. They've invited me at SSL, so we're gonna go there and we're gonna chat. So if you've got questions for SSL, by the way, do put them in the comments, please, because it's your chance to have SSL, the company in Oxford, England, reply to your, answer your questions. So please do send them over.